Sylvia don't want to smell that stuff. Hey y'all.
Hey, you need to go on and take a hit.
I am not taking none of that stuff out. I'm already getting contact in here. You walk in here, it's just like, woo!
Sylvia gonna fall asleep. Yeah, she gonna fall asleep on live like she always do. No, but what I was gonna ask you was, are you going to do this live interview, or are you going to just come back later, or what are you gonna do?
I don't know how you're gonna do. My phone is about to die. I'm at 39%, so I don't even think I'm gonna be able to do it on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me see if he could charge this phone, and I could do it from this phone. I do a lot from my phone. Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm getting a contact, y'all. I'm getting a headache. Oh, Jesus.
Hey, drink some water, and let me just tell you, nobody has ever died from this, okay?
Well, oh my God, it's just knocking me out. My head is, ooh, you come in here.
Sylvia, it'll bring your stress down. It'll bring your stress levels down, okay? And, you'll just be, life will be more enjoyable, you know?
You get on my nerve.
I am a doctor who practices. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, though. But that's what's up. So what are you guys just gonna particularly talk about, like the recusal, or is it
I don't know.
just?
I don't know what Big Jeff is going to talk about, but I know he wants us here. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that he had actual podcasts. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does. It's a whole studio.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You know, y'all funny. Yeah, but Sylvia, I'm telling you, when you go back,
You can't hold on, let me mute Sarah. She on the live talking about that. Lord have mercy. Hold on. Girl, you can't go in and smell
I gotta
like me.
change it.
Yeah, guys.
You gonna?
I gotta change the car.
You gonna change your clothes in there?
Right.
Awesome.
We gonna know.
But you gotta put perfume all over you.
She's gonna go.
It's not cigarettes.
Sleep, snoring stuff.
It's gonna smell like me too.
So, but with her, she probably wouldn't. She probably couldn't have.
Look, we're going to church after this.
You better play that.
We're going to church for real. We're going to church after this.
I hope it's not Pastor that preach.
You better play that church music.
We're gonna play that. Yeah. She said, "Please mute."
Yeah.
Do we have any water?
Yeah. Oh, stop it. Right.
Is he here?
Wait for kids working in it. Job person on live. Do you have a link? Oh, yeah, Sylvia, can you drop the link for Big Jeff's podcast in the chat? Because there's people asking. What is the link to his channel?
Yeah. I don't know. Rand, do you have the link to the channel? Somebody, please. It's the same one. It's the same one like last time.
Make sure you guys follow, like, subscribe, all that.
No, okay, there it is right here. Nothing but they live right now. Look. There it is right here. They live right now.
Can you drop the link?
You can hear us. Oh my God. I thought we were muted. You can hear us.
Oh, right now.
Oh no, we don't want people to hear what we're saying. This is it right here.
Search nothing but true. Oh, okay. Expert.
Shit like they like the Godfather, okay? We love him. He's been around for a long time now. godfather, okay? We love him. He's been around for a long time now.
I'm about to end this live, y'all. Dom, you heard me?
Right.
Go over there to his channel.
All right, yeah, I'm about to go over right now. I'm about right now.
No, this is the Boosie thing. I don't need to end this. I've been on too long.
Okay, I will drop it in the channel.
Somebody please drop his link in that channel, please.
They want you to get another
Yeah, that way I can go subscribe.
I need to get that. What's the name of the channel again, y'all?
Drop something to eat all right here to your brother. she tripping. I'm not finna cater to this nigga, man. When I fed him, he should have ate his damn food. I don't give a damn about him calling her, talking about he goddamn hungry, nigga. You supposed to eat when you left home. But don't keep on calling me, cause he motherfucking crying. He ain't no bitch. Don't keep on goddamn calling me. You wanna come and get him, come and goddamn get him. But I'm not finna cater to him. She can. She can come and pick him up goddamn from my down Gresham Road. All I give a damn. She ain't gonna run me. He with me. He ain't with no goddamn stranger. The same rules his brothers and sisters had to live by, he gonna have to live by them too. Ain't goddamn special like that. She pissing me off, man.
Wow, they were trafficking teenagers from 15 to 17.
That shit crazy for
Matter of
real.
fact,
Kansas
how
City.
long you gonna be at home,
Kansas
Rudy?
City. It was a
How long that
That
gonna
got
be?
me so scared.
But you gotta go to Duck House first, though, ain't you?
Their traffic on the phone.
Yeah.
Cause this nigga closed at the house.
Check on it now.
Now, but I'm saying if she finna come now, I wanna get his shit so she can get his shit when she pull up. Yeah, I guess.
He pissed.
I don't know. I gave her the phone back. You talk to her. I don't need to talk to her. She ain't my mama. I'm doing all I can not to cuss this lady ass out, man.
Guilty of 4 counts of sex trafficking, and he got 4 years.
But you ain't finna keep calling me in 5 minutes about this goddamn boy.
So he got 17 years.
17. Okay. Yes, I'm interested in this.
Of course.
That's messed up.
Of course. All the people, like, they just be doing too much. It's not
I
that
see
certain
why
people
mama be
don't deserve
snapping
to
on
go
her
to jail
ass.
or stuff like that. Like, they deserve to go to jail forever.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Cause she done told me about how her mama
Somebody who did
is.
something similar, not even as bad,
Beforehand.
and get 17 years still, like, they deserve to go to jail for a long time. What's wrong with them?
See, I'm gonna show you what type of motherfucker she is.
Good night.
She just takes my phone, right?
You think so?
This how I know her daughter ain't lying about how she is. This motherfucker say, please text me the tattoo parlor address. Who said I was at a motherfucking tattoo parlor? Now who could have told you that? She probably done told this nigga, show her what's going on inside the room he in. And she done, it's a poster up there look like a tattoo poster. So she thinking a nigga at a tattoo parlor. And I just told your stupid ass, I'm finna do a podcast. So that means his word mean more than mine. So fuck you. Find the tattoo parlor, goddamn it.
What is It's the tattoo parlor for me. They on the line, they talking about, let me see the outfit, Caleb, let me see the pants. They say the pants look fire. I like this little suit. I got it from Fashion Nova. I get all my clothes from Fashion Nova. They say they got nice clothes.
Fashion Nova. I get my dresses from them.
I love them. Did he stop her?
Oh, he
been around for a long time now.
All right, now let's head down to the lot where Tom Brady is trying to track down our Hertz customer.
I'm here, Vaughn, but looks like I just missed her.
Oh, so what you're saying is that she was able to check in online, confirm her car, then head straight to the lot.
That's why you go with Hertz.
love him. He's been around for a long time now.
Let me go ahead and everybody get situated. I'll go ahead and take roll and cover a couple things with you. We're back on the record in the matter of the state of Georgia versus Khalif Adams et al. In 22 SC 183572. All right, Mr. Stillwell, Mr. Botts. Where's Mr. Sharp? Is he not here? Okay, oh, thank you. All right, good morning, gentlemen. All right, Mr. Williams, Mr. Steele, Mr. Adams, and Mr. Nard, good morning. All right, Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Weinstein, good morning. All right, Mr. Huey and Mr. Matthews Sr., good morning. All right, Mr. Nichols, Mr. Harvey, good morning, sir. And Mr. Ryan and Misty Williams, good morning. All right. Mr. Garner, are you here? Sorry, I apologize.
You?
Which one?
Kayla, right?
No, you.
Me? Where am I supposed to sit at?
Wherever you want to sit at.
Oh, he said on this side.
For us, guys, Zabo is like the godfather, okay? We love him. He's been around for a long time now.
Yeah, my parking They got arrested with drugs with Nicole Fegan.
Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turn to the city, I broke all the notch. Got some more millies that keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to dip me in it on purpose. Call him Johnson till they give me chop. Took her out of fathers cause I put some running like sober, I gotta stay high. We so serpent like the drum. Running this special life, but you tired. Don't worry, baby, I keep you some fire. She mean they just she keep lady say go to super. I don't sleep on this lady. See her cry. You get up back while I'm gripping her side. You can back. That girl was put against it. She's still something. Told her to work on her hands. You made me a trying to get me in the call them traffic till they give me chop. Took her out of fathers cause I put some running like Nike, you got it on the I took the Billy Cooper in the hot and kind. I put this bitch in front of the Billy in front of the driver. In the road, right, wow. What's on this shit? What's this shit running in? They find, tell me lies. Yeah, they get all this drink, my God. Yeah. They call it, yeah. They ain't bad for the cardiac. That ring with you. G, no, like I said, no way I'm a ever gonna go out. I can go out, no way I'm gonna go out. I just grip on her hands and I show her that shit like I'm chipping that weight on her heart. I do it.
Nephew, I don't hear the music. I don't hear the music. Good, right there. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is Big Jeff with Nothing But the Truth. And I have with me today the Honorable Caleb Bumpers and the infamous Sylvia. How y'all ladies doing today?
I'm doing great.
Good. I asked y'all to come on here today because I need y'all to just verify some things that I want to update the people on about this trial. And we're going to go back a long way back. And I want to start at the opening of the case to give everybody clarity of some of the unfortunates that has took place during this case. For instance, when this case first started, doing preliminaries, we was always made to give our ID to the deputies, sign in. Also, we had to bag our telephones and, we had to just go according to whatever the sheriff department had in store for us to do. And it got to the point to where it became a nuisance because it looked as if we were being more investigated than the people that they had on the indictment. And what I mean when I say that is, I actually noticed a lot of times that they actually bought deputies to sit outside the courtroom, so when everyone turned in their identification, the deputy, when everyone is in the courtroom, they actually had the deputy scanning people's IDs. You know, and it was supposedly being kept a secret to where we shouldn't be able to pick up on what was going on. But me being observant as I was, I seen a lot of, discrepancies that they were doing toward us. To where it became a menace to where I started feeling like, who are they really targeting? You know what I'm saying? So I want to discuss that. I also want to discuss the fact that we were made to sit in an empty courtroom behind it. You know what I'm saying? And when I finally asked the question as to why is this procedure being done to us, I was told by Captain Kendall that it was a safety precaution. And right to this day, I still don't understand that safety precaution, because we was on the 8th floor, the defendants was on the 1st floor. So what bearings do our ID have on that? What bearings do our telephone having to be put in a pouch has to do with that? And last but not least, most definitely, why were we having to sign in? My identification came up missing on a break. And out of all of these precautions, so-called, that they had us going through in these proceedings, they had us going through, no one right to this day can tell me what happened to my identification. To the fact that where they took it so harsh to where they started saying that I couldn't even attempt to go in the courtroom until I showed them another form of identification. So I went against it. Until you all know who I am. I'm quite sure everybody in the Fulton County Courthouse knows who Big Jeff, Mr. William, Old Thug, as they named me. Everybody know who I am. So what's the purpose of continuing to do this? Then I was told that it was something that they do for all high-profile cases. Here we are, a year later, our district attorney came into the picture as having to go to a hearing about her and some of her other stuff she got going on. Our former president had to come, turn himself in to be bonded. I don't see none of these high-profile tactics used on their behalf. I also went to Mr. Lucci's trial. It's a high-profile trial. I didn't have to give no one my identification. I didn't have to put my telephone in a pouch. I did have to sign in, and then I was also told by the deputy that she had to call and get permission from someone to say I was able to go in an open courtroom just because of who trial it was.
That's interesting.
So I did what a citizen's supposed to do. I went on in the courtroom anyway. So if I'm not supposed to be in here, just come and get me. Just come and get me out the courtroom. So I'm saying that to say this. I support all of these young men and women who are being improperly persecuted by Fulton County. All because someone is trying to make a stand on nothing. I can see if it meant something. This stand that the DA department is making is basically on nothing. You know, because they're trying to force people to take pleas by mentally torturing them. You know, so, and it's all because someone wants to be able to say the crime rate is down. The crime rate can't go down off of people who are already incarcerated. The crime rate goes down because the streets are being patrolled to where people can't get away with committing so many mischievous ass crimes. So make that make sense. Make that make sense. I have seen people who are sitting in the Fulton County jail that has been there for 5, 6, 7, 8 years waiting for a trial. But any and everybody that has had anything to do with any members on this YSL ticket have been arrested, taking the hearings, taking the trial, being sentenced, and being transported to whatever prison they being transported to do their time. All in a matter of weeks or months, not years. Make sense. Make sense. Everything that has gone on in the county for the last 2 years is my opinion. Anybody that has been incarcerated has something to do with somebody that supposedly had some connection to YSL. You know what that was. Enemy or friend. That definitely. These are infractions that has been held up by our judicial system. All because someone is trying to prove themselves to be worthy of nothing, basically. You know, we have so many discrepancies going on in Fulton County at the beginning of this case to where everyone, you know, I think they forgot that people are actually witnessing everything that's being done. I really think that someone has got beyond their mindset to say, people not seeing this, and it's being shown over the world. Not just in Fulton County, not just in Atlanta, not just everybody in the world is seeing all of these infractions. And every time it's acknowledged by a defense attorney or those defense attorneys, either the judge come up with some type of lame brain excuse as to why it's legit, or he allows the district attorney office to present some type of bogus, you know, amenity to say that some case that they're speaking on that has some type of dealings with this, with what they're doing, is right. And it's wrong as hell. We have even had infractions to where the judge can see the state is stumbling over their goddamn shoes. And he would actually make an excuse for them to give them some type of way to confront a situation that they know that they can't win with. So he's not being a judge that's being impartial and fair. He's actually acting to me, it's my opinion. He's actually acting as he's an attorney. He's showing that he is biased. He has shown bias from day one of this whole case. The judge has shown bias since day one. You know, he denied these kids bonds. He denied a bond to a man that's not even a convicted felon. He's used proffers repeatedly to say this is why he's holding these guys without bonds. Make it make sense. If it goes for one, it goes for all. You got 29 people in an indictment. You let 12 or 13 people go on plea deals. Gave a couple of people bonds. Severed a few people. And then you say, okay, that's it. You make the decision to say that's it. No one else is to be severed. No one else is to get a bond. No one else, and we started out, we had 4 proffers that the state had to be consistently whipped to say this is why these men shouldn't deserve bonds. We had 2 proffers after a year time of these kids not being granted a bond. The state still stuck with a threat and witness tampering. How many times can you deny a bond on something that has been proven not to be true? You haven't had anybody to call and say somebody's been threatening me. You haven't had anybody to call that has called and consistently said, I feel like my life is in danger. The state have never proved anything that they have spoken on. Miss Love argues with the judge sometimes to where I think they husband and wife. Honestly. Because when it's an argument and he makes a decision, she can't live with the decision. So she finds some kind of way to push a button to make the judge alter his decision. That's not being a fair and impartial judge. That's being biased. That's being biased. The defense attorney can ask, can I bend down and tie my shoe, Your Honor? He would say, no, you can't. I deny that. I deny it. When are we going to get some justice? This has been since day one, to where all the infraction that has taken place in the courtroom has not been spoken on, has not been dealt with, and nobody seems to care. Judge Earl Glanville made an announcement one day saying that, a forewarned judge is a happy judge. Well, damn. When are the forewarnings gonna make you happy? Who do that speak for? What people does that speak for? So far, the scale is tilted. It only applies to the state. It only applies to the state. To where this thing is so personal, and I know, I'm just pouring gas on the fire because everybody's witnessing it. Everything that happens in this courtroom always based on the judge's decision. We got to do something about this. Now we're at a point to where they have gotten so comfortable with doing so much wrongdoing toward these guys to where it's as if nobody cares who hears it, who sees it, who speak on it. It don't matter. They're going to do it. I heard our district attorney say in her hearing, which I attended, she said that because one person said that make it true, Because one person make a statement on me, that make it true. But you just arrested 29 people off of hearsay and arrested them, have taken them to court. Their voices haven't been heard not one time on that note alone. Everything that happens in the courtroom, people, is off speculation. There's no way that a district attorney can tell you that you committed a crime and we gonna prove it without and say that it's just the gospel. It's speculation. They're going on something that someone is telling them. Going to trial, to me, is you are guilty until proven innocent. There's no such thing as you innocent until proven guilty. I don't know why we got that in our state law, in our national laws. No one is innocent until proven guilty. If that's the case, why arrest me? When you arrest me, that means you're saying I'm guilty. I have to prove my innocence. So I'm not innocent until proven guilty. I'm guilty until I prove my innocence. And you got people who making decisions on your life that don't know Adam from Eve about you. No one knows who you are in trial. Your jurors are supposed to be jurors of your peers. I haven't seen that done in a hearing yet, in a trial yet. I have never seen that take place in a trial. These young men are from 25 to 32 years old. A couple of the guys are a little older. I haven't seen young people on this jury of their peers. I just had a grandson went to trial because he was a member of this family and a person that had some connection to the guys who are in this trial. Be sentenced, be took to trial, found guilty, and sentenced. And none of the people that was in trial, that was at his trial as a juror, was 22 years old. They went 25, they went 30, it was probably 35 and over. Those are not jurors of his peers. They just couldn't do shapes. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. These are things that has taken places in the beginning of this whole trial. You got young men, you got people who are being stopped on the streets in routine traffic stops. If they're in the Cleveland area, they'll be asked, do you know anything about Young Thug? Do you know anything about YSL? If you can give us any kind of information about these people, we'll let you go. This is just so how far in depth the system is against these kids. But let's not forget, people, these are our kids now. These are our kids. It might not be your child right now, but it can be your child tomorrow. It can be one of your loved ones tomorrow. We got to get these people out of office. The Fulton County District Attorney Office is corrupted. It's corrupted. The Fulton County Courthouse is corrupted. Some of them are doing their jobs. But every judge that I have seen, anybody that has anything to do with YSL or anybody that's on the YSL trial has been intentionally taken before judges who are part of the game. We need to start putting some RICO acts toward these people. We need to start putting them in some RICO. We need to start investigating these people and call them a gang, because they are really a gang and they are really committing criminality against society. So we need someone to step in and make a decision. To the fact that where now we are at a detrimental part of this case, to where we have a judge that's being tried to be recused for all of the dirt that he has allowed and he has played a part in prosecuting the people on this case. We got to do something about these people. We got to do something about these people. There's no way you can tell me I have committed an ultimate crime and I need to be punished, but a person sitting right in your face committing an ultimate crime can get away with it. All because he's using his authority to make himself right. That's a crime. When you do those type of things, those are crimes. We have charges that you have to face for those type crimes. I haven't seen not one charge be brought against these people for these crimes they are openly committing in our faces. And they're doing it as if they don't care if you see them do it, hear them do it, acknowledge them doing it, playing a role in them doing it. Let's make that make sense, people. We taxpayers too. We're taxpayers too. So what's good for the geese got to be good for the gander. How are these people being acknowledgeably committing crimes in our faces and no one seems to care? That's my opinion. We have higher courts. We have higher judges. We have a higher judicial system, period, that I feel like should have been stepped in on this case and stopped the bleeding. These kids' constitutional rights have been violated since day one. Since day one. Openly in our faces. When is someone gonna say something? When is someone gonna do something? Judge Glanville made a full-scale attack coming out the gate of this trial, to where he made it to where people was actually in fear of standing up to him to make him do what he's sworn in to do, because he put the fear tactic there day one. People have been arrested by this man. People have been made to write essays. People have been made to do time in jail. All because he felt like they were wrong at something they did or said. Now here he is in a situation to where he has committed an ultimate crime. And he's trying to make all the excuses to say that he was right by making that judgment. And the Constitution is telling him he's wrong. Let's make that make sense. How do you give a man 72 hours, come back and give him 24 more hours, then come back and give him 48 hours for somebody to make a decision to say that we gonna find you wrong at what you have done? And we still haven't got a decision. Let's make it make sense. But he have held attorneys at fault to where their punishment was to buy all of their colleagues a damn lunch. You know, and if you don't, then I'm gonna deal with you. When is he gonna have to taste his own medicine? When are we gonna make him taste his own medicine? When are we gonna make him uphold his law? When are we gonna make the DA stand up to her wrongdoing? Our district attorney violated the law openly. And we were actually suckered into buying the fact that by one of the people recusing themselves from a trial made it right. I still don't understand that part. I still don't understand that part. I don't understand that part because no one has, justice still haven't been served. If I'm wrong about something, I need somebody to tell me how I'm wrong about it. But I say justice haven't been served because Nathan Wade should have never been on the case anyway. From what the law says. We were told that the law states that the district attorney cannot hire a private attorney to be the lead attorney on a case, on a county case, because he's a private attorney. Second of all, he couldn't be a lead attorney on the case because he's not a Fulton County employee in the DA office. Third of all, he can't be on the case because he has no affiliation whatsoever with the Fulton County District Attorney's office. But yet and still we have had people to come forth to say they have seen this man in the district attorney office more than they have the district attorney. This man have led meetings in the district attorney office more than the district attorney. So him admitting and saying that I'll just take myself off the case, that didn't make nothing right. He wasn't supposed to be there in the beginning. So how that stop her from being disqualified? He wasn't supposed to be there in the beginning. So him taking himself off the case, he just did what was supposed to happen in the beginning anyway. He wasn't never supposed to be there. So when are we going to do something about the disqualification of the district attorney? They can't. They can't take off the case. They can't take off the case because they take off the case, people. That means a lot of people are going to have to be turned loose. A lot of people's cases are going to have to go away. So that's why our judicial system is not making her leave this case. Our district attorney should be so far away from the Fulton County Courthouse, we shouldn't even remember who she was tomorrow. This is how far these folks have went in violating the people of the city of Atlanta, Fulton County, the state of Georgia, rights. She's not a Georgia native. Probably didn't go to school in Georgia. Come from a city that actually have real gangs. So she knows about gangs. She also know this too, ladies and gentlemen. She know that we don't have no way in the world of fighting a gang case legitimately, because we're not a gang-related state. We have never been a gang-related state. I don't know not one person from the state of Georgia that you can actually classify as a gang member. And I've been here 58 years. I've never seen that. I've never seen everybody that I know that have gotten arrested in the state of Georgia has never been charged with a gang charge. Furthermore, how can we be a gang-related city or a gang-related state when you can't look in our white pages, yellow pages, blue pages, green pages, or purple pages and find any attorney listed in the book as a gang attorney? Why would we let someone bring something into our city that we can't handle? Why? Why would we let someone come in our city and change a law just because you got a lot of people who wants to be protected behind it? But here we are with a governor. We calling ourselves fighting gun violence. We asking people to turn in guns so they can be melted down or destroyed or however they want to put it. We got people that want us to come out and protest gang violence, take the guns off the street, do this, that, and the other. But we go to sleep every night knowing that we got a governor who instilled the law and say you got the right to bear arms with no permits or no license. How we gonna stop gun violence if you telling us we can arm ourselves and we can go, now we're a martial law. We can take law into our own hands. That's martial law. Let's make it make sense. Let's make it make sense. You got people, we are so in depth with this case to where social media is being acknowledged as an attorney in a trial. Social media, tweets, Facebook. Really? This is social media is gonna make a decision on someone's life. What someone say on social media, what somebody put on a song, what somebody say when they talking to the person sitting beside them. We gonna let that dictate whether a person committed a crime or not? You know, we got to get some balls and stand up to these people and make them understand that we are still human. We are still citizens. We do mean something. Not Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. So this case have been bogus from day one, ladies and gentlemen. Day one. It didn't just get like that. It's been like that. It's been bogus from day one. From day one of whoever signed off on the indictment, this case has been bogus before then. It's just a lot of people had their hands in it. But it's coming out slowly but surely. It's coming out. It's coming out. The old saying is, everything in the dark will come to the light. The light's coming up. Daybreak is coming. So I'm going to let y'all hear from some of the people that's sitting on the panel and let them talk about some things that they want to talk about, you know, and I want to give everybody the narrative of this show. The narrative of this show is to talk about things that has meaning. We're not trying to bash anybody. We're not trying to make anybody look like, you know, they doing something that they are not doing. We're not going to speak on people who we can't prove what we're saying about them. This show is called Nothing But the Truth. And everything that we speak on is going to be nothing but the truth. So I want to welcome to the panel Miss Shanita. She's one of the activists that has been working with me since day one. And a lot of things that she activate on, I support it. You know, we have marched, we have protested with families who have had loved ones to die in the jails, get killed on the street, the whole 9 yards. You know, so she definitely has something to say. It just, she doesn't never be allowed to be heard.
Thank you.
On Nothing But the Truth, you can be heard. I don't care who you are. You can come on this show and you can talk about whatever. You can talk about anything you want to talk about, so we can I'm trying to let society know that you're not alone when you go through something. It's someone going through something either just like it or worse. You know, so I want the people to be heard. I want the people to be heard. So I'm going to turn it over now, and I'm going to let, who want to go first? I'm going to let Miss Shanita go first, and we'll sit back and we'll hear what she got to say. But remember, whatever she say is nothing but the truth.
That part. Thank you. I appreciate you. And as he stated, yes, he has definitely been with me on the front lines advocating for other families in the midst of going through this horrific, corrupt, in the words of some, circus of a court case for his son, you know. From the beginning, before it made the news, before it got on TV, before it blew up to what it is today, Big Jeff went, we were there. I was there at the trial from the beginning, and I was just, I couldn't believe that some of the things were happening. My background as a paralegal, about 15, 16 years of experience. I came from working for 120 federal judges. So I know, I'm not an attorney, I'm a paralegal, but I know the court process. And I know some of the procedures that should happen that wasn't happening there with the family. I know how a person is mistreated and mishandled in just trying to come to a hearing, just to be a supportive person for your family. And like he said, from the beginning, it was a block up for people that were known to associate with this family. If they thought you were there to support the family, you were targeted. All of us, well, most of us, have been arrested in some form or fashion with this case, including myself. And Miss Sylvia too, right? So just being there to support, they were badgering me. Who do you know? Do you know Mr. Williams? Are you family? I'm like, I'm a paralegal. Yeah, it got to be something. And I went to my social media, were badgering me. So it's been a lot, to say the least. And when I was telling Big Jeff that, yes, I work in the court system. This stuff is not supposed to happen like this, even procedurally. And we were like, what can we do? Can we go to some civil rights organizations that could help us, that could get the word out, that could help us in advocating for just the basic constitutional rights to be reserved for us, for the family and friends? And it was almost like nobody wanted to get involved. I mean, from speaking with the NAACP, like he said before in the interview with another news media, different SCLC, different people of these big organizations did pretty much turn a blind eye, you know. And as he stated, these individuals, defendants, have been proven guilty until proven innocent, and not vice versa, innocent until proven guilty. And it's unjust. It's corrupt. There's no other way to put it. And then people want to say, well, if you vote for Trump, that's evil. He's racist. Okay, but what if it was your family that's been locked up almost 3 years now? Trump can definitely relate to these RICO charges being put against him and Young Thug and YSL. So why wouldn't the family side with someone that has been through the corruption that their family has went through? So ask me, who am I voting for? Because I am nonpartisan, but guess what? That could change at any moment now. And if I was Big Jeff and the way he supports Trump at this time, I can't blame him. If that was my child like that, I would support whoever I feel that relates to me and my interests the most. And that's what we're supposed to vote on anyway. Who relates to us and our values the most? Not because, oh, my family's been Democratic my entire life, so I just voted that because that's how my parents voted. Or Republican because that's how my parents voted. No, you vote for who appeases you and your interests and your family the best. And that's what I tell people. So, no, don't ask me who I'm voting for. Because guess what? One thing about the Trump people, they support him, right or wrong, 100%. And if you're going to be passionate about something, if you're going to support me like the Trump supporters support Trump. You know? So that is my take on everything. As an advocate, being in the communities, helping advocate for families that have experienced harsh corruption, police brutality, there needs to be something done in the state of Georgia. Something more, like he said. Okay, Nathan Wade resigned from the case, so that was pretty much a slap on the hand. That doesn't mean any justice was done for him even being on the case when he apparently should not have been on the case in the beginning. So what is going to be done? Are we going to turn a blind eye to that? Are we going to turn a blind eye to the fact that Judge Glanville has been on this case and refused to recuse himself, and we have to go to a higher court? That is something very, very serious. At this point, I don't understand why any civil rights organization is like, hey, hold on. I remember when he came to us, this man has some type of point. The Superior Court, the Supreme Court has gotten involved. There's something going on that's not right. They don't just get, you trust and believe, the higher courts don't just get involved because they just want to and because nothing is not going on. Ms. Kayla, you know, the higher courts won't just intervene just to intervene. Am I correct? It has to be something serious going on for them to even make a ruling to get involved at all. And that should be alarming to anyone. Like he said, it may not be your child today, but it can easily be your child tomorrow.
For sure.
And I don't take that for granted.
Especially if you let it get away with it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I just think that my whole thing, I didn't really follow this case, and I still probably don't follow it as close as other people, just because it's hard to go to court all day and then come home and watch court. It's just hard.
I understand.
So I watch what I can or whatever, but I know at the beginning of this case, this is what stands out the most to me, is that, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say it every chance I get. I can't really speak as to what's happened in the courtroom other than what happened with myself, because I haven't been tuned in. But what I can speak to is as a lawyer and my experiences with my clients, and the thing that bothers me the absolute most about this case is that these boys went to jail indicted. And that's very rare, because it takes a lot of resources and a lot of time to get people indicted on a grand jury without being first arrested. So most people go to jail and they get a first appearance, and a magistrate, a judge can set their bond or whatever. But these boys came to jail indicted
Already.
and so they never had a chance for a magistrate judge who doesn't. Magistrate judges, they don't really know what's going on in the district attorney's office. You know, they're magistrate judges. They have power granted by a superior court judge. And so that means they have the power to grant a bond just because a superior court judge said they can. But superior court judges are more in tune with what's going on in the DA's office. You know, they get the indictment, they know what's going on, whatever. So this case went straight to Judge Lanville. So they never got a magistrate level. And at the magistrate level, most people get a bond.
And see, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that.
And I know people don't know that. That was the most alarming thing to me, because I was on the YFN case, and I had boys that had been sitting in jail or even on ankle monitors or whatever for almost 2 years unindicted. I have clients now that are in the Fulton County Jail 2-3 years unindicted, and they can't make a bond because they have a criminal history or, you know, just weird stuff while they're in jail unindicted.
But this was a rush indictment.
Well, these people went to jail indicted, and that's very rare.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's very rare. They said they can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can they hear me now? Okay.
So yeah, and that's, and as you just stated, I didn't know that. And like I said, I'm a paralegal, and that is something I would have understood had it, been said. And these are things like that has been hidden from the general public, and everybody, and I think now that you brought that up, the purpose of that being hidden is, like you said, because most of those judges will provide an impartial decision. Am I going to grant this bond? Look at the background or not. And they didn't want those bonds to ever be considered, and that's why they've always been denied. So that's another corrupt thing that has happened. And then again, like, once we discover these injustices, what happens next?
I just have to, I don't know, y'all want me to say what I said again just so they can hear?
Yeah.
I just, so you guys know what she's talking about. I guess you can't hear me, but basically I was saying a lot of people don't go to jail indicted. They go to jail pre-indictment. And that means that they have the opportunity to be heard by a magistrate judge for an opportunity for bond. That's your first chance for bond. And even first appearances have certain rights. You have to have your first appearance within 72 hours here in Georgia, or you're entitled to be released. Certain things. But these guys, they came to jail and they were already indicted. And because they were already indicted, they did not have that opportunity to be heard by a magistrate judge, so they went straight to their assigned judge. There's a lot of times where I have clients that have sat in jail for years without indictment, and maybe they have a really bad criminal history. And they have like a $200,000 bond or something like that. That could be cured by simply indicting them and starting the court process. But these guys, they never had to go through that. They were straight indicted, and that was one thing that stood out to me. And the second thing that stood out to me about this case is that, like I said, I was on the YFN case, and we had the same trial date as YSL at the beginning, which was January 8th. Our case was older. I don't understand why, how we, and we had just as good as attorneys. You know, we had great attorneys. We had Drew Finland and Gay Banks and, you know, some lit attorneys. So it's not, it's you know, it's kind of crazy.
And that, ironically, you say that because I've said that from the beginning. The fact that this trial is now considered, well, it has been considered high profile, quote unquote, high profile. However, when I went to the Trump case with Fonnie and Trump and the co-defendants, and we don't have to turn in cell phones. We don't have to put the cell phones in. So you're telling me that Young Thug is more high profile than Donald Trump and the former president? Because that's what I'm getting. And that's how they're treating us. We got to sign in. I didn't sign in when I went to the Trump trial. When I went to see Fonnie and Nathan Wade testify, I didn't see that. So that's not high profile, that the DA of Fulton County is indicting the former president of the United States. Is that not high profile? What classifies a case as high profile? And who establishes the rules that people have to sign in? And you got to tell whether you're family or whether you're a general public or whether you're media coming to observe just a regular trial. Why is he not even treated fairly in that process?
I just think, you know, a lot of people don't like me because I can take both sides. And I think it's like just actually being in the environment is different. And just to be devil's advocate, not that I agree or disagree, but you do have to cater to your audience. And, you know, there was a lot going on. And, I mean, yeah, we got Trump supporters, and anybody could have been doing that. But I do think that, I'm not going to say there was a valid or non-valid safety concern, but I think that they just didn't know what to do, to be honest. I mean, if they truly believe that what's going on is what's going on, then I can't judge them for doing that. If they truly believe that everything that they're saying, that this is the most dangerous people in Atlanta, you know, I really can't.
Again, though, that goes back to, are they guilty until they're proven innocent? Because apparently they're not. And apparently their family and friends are also guilty of being in association with them. And that's the way that they're being treated, period.
Yeah.
Because even if it's high profile, even if you believe that they pose a threat, you have murderers. Trump supposedly is high profile. There were people that died during the January the 6th. So again, how is Young Thug is higher profile than a former president of the United States, according to Fulton County? Like, who sets those guidelines? Who, is there a standing order that says that? Because when I was arrested, that's what they said. Oh, it was a standing order that that you can have a old cell phone turned off in your bag. Like, there's a standing order. Well, it's not posted. So the general people and the general knowledge don't know about the standing orders of the courtroom because they're not posted when you go there and when you're in court. So is there a standing order that Young Thug's family and friends have to come in and have to sign their names and at one point they have to, or actually still now, they have to go through your purse. So you go through two securities. Being a Young Thug family and friends, you're going through two securities at Fulton County. You're going through the one at the bottom where you're going through a whole x-ray machine of your full body. And then you get on the floor and they still got to go through your purse and your personal belongings again. We didn't do that when we went to the Trump case. No. They didn't take my purse. They didn't look at my purse not one time when I went in Fulton County to go to the Trump case. So who classifies Young Thug case as high profile over Donald Trump's high profile case? See, that's the kind of shit that the stuff, excuse my language, that's the kind of stuff that is corrupt. That's the kind of stuff that people conjure up and make their own rules that don't apply to everybody. That's what this equal liberty and justice for all should be applied, because it's not being applied like that. This family and friends are being severely targeted, disadvantaged, subjected to porn. Who said anything about how are they going to compensate those kids that was in the courtroom? That porn came on the TV when the kids seeing naked penises and stuff. Now let the kids go to school and tell the parent and tell the teacher that they seen that at home. Then DFAT's going to be involved. DFAT's going to be involved. But we can go to a courtroom and be sitting there for a case, and kids can watch porn, and nobody says nothing. No, nothing's done about it. Oh, it was hacked. Make it make sense. Because we speaking nothing but the truth.
That's it. So, well, y'all heard it live and well. You know, I want to say this. I want to give everybody the heads up on this as far as what's going on in the city of Atlanta right now. You have what they call spotters. You got officers who are patrolling areas, and in these areas, they're patrolling and watching for a certain type of movement, which is good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it's bad. That's a good thing when you're doing it for the right reason. You know, but when you start seeing them use it for, you know, reasons that's beyond their jobs, it doesn't make sense. You know, we witnessed a young man get pulled over the other day by Atlanta, and among them searching his vehicle, the first set of officers searched the vehicle, come out with nothing. Second set of officers come. You know, I don't know if they came to assist. I don't know if they came because it was happening on Cleveland Avenue. So they felt like, you know, if it's got something to do with Cleveland Avenue, it may have a possible chance it could be somebody who's affiliated with the YSL crew, or Young Thug, or whoever from Cleveland Avenue area. Young Thug is not from Cleveland Avenue. He's from the Jonesboro South Projects that sits off Cleveland Avenue. Yet and still, this young man car was searched, and the officers who searched it thoroughly. Didn't find nothing in the young man's car. Come out, I guess they was waiting to make their decision on what they wanted to do with him, or what they wanted to try to charge him with, or whatever the case might be. Second set of officers come on the scene. It was inquired that they searched the car. They tell them they searched the car clean, guy this, that, you know, and this young man is a guy that we've never known to be a troubled person. Second set of officers searched the car, some kind of way. Some drugs was on the ground, some kind of way that drugs was being put in the car and it fell on the ground and someone seen it. Mm-hmm. So the second set of officers say, did y'all search the car good? Young man wound up with a drug charge. Wow. All because of the neighborhood he was in. So this is where we done went with this. This means that our people who is supposed to be protecting and serving us is really trying to help destroy us too. At the command of someone else. At the command. I'm not going to say all police officers are bad officers, because there's some good officers out there. Right. It's just they have to be tolerant to work with the officers who are bad. I have seen some officers actually leave a scene because they didn't agree with what the officers who was at the scene was doing. These are the things that we got to listen for, people, when the police officers coming out in neighborhoods for what they call fighting crime. You can fight crime, and the criminal can be yourself. You can be that criminal. All right, so we're gonna hear from the infamous Sylvia and hear what she got to say. So remember, everything you hear is nothing but the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff. All right, I want to address some of the things that you guys talked about as far as what I personally experienced in that courtroom. A lot of the orders or changes that they have done in the courtroom was done during this trial. And I've been to several trials, several cases in that courtroom. In the courtroom that I've never experienced what I've experienced in the YSL case. The Trump case, I'm able to go in and out, have my phone, be able to text, use my laptop, and all that while I'm in there. Nothing, I have no issues, nothing's being said to me or anything like that. But when I entered into the YSL, from day one, I was having issues. I was upstairs and they would come up there and they would tell me I can't have my phone, but meanwhile, I have a Rule 22. So my Rule 22 didn't mean a thing because when I was in the room, they said because I was up there with the family, I cannot have my phone. So then it turned around. I was able to have my phone, but I couldn't have it around certain people. And then I finally was able to get downstairs and had trouble down there. And then they had me in the media room where you couldn't see anything. You couldn't experience what was going on in the courtroom. It was really, really, really hard. But now I am inside the courtroom and I still have issues. Still have issues in there. It's not like the other cases. And I've been to several cases in that courtroom.
I can witness that.
Yeah, several cases I've never, ever have an issue. In fact, even with your grandson's case, I got a Rule 22 signed the same day. And that judge made sure I was set and ready. He even asked me, he says, ma'am, did you get your Rule 22? I signed it. I said, yes, I did, sir. And he said, go ahead on and start recording. I had no issues. It's for some strange reason, it's that particular courtroom. And I don't know who's making the rules. I mean, I have an idea, but I don't want to speculate. So I see the unfairness. I see the targeting of the family members. I see the wrongdoing, and I don't know what's the purpose and why it's being done that way. So.
That's it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can elaborate on that, and to elaborate on that, I can say this, and I feel this in my heart, that a lot of things that was being done to the media set, especially you, was because I think that this is a profit being made off of this case right now. You know, and I'm saying from day one to where I have witnessed you being denied to enter the courtroom. I have witnessed you being denied to, you know, do the things that you were allowed to do in the courtroom. This isn't something that you weren't allowed to do. This is something that you was allowed to do by the state of Georgia, because you went through the protocols to be able to do it. I witnessed going to get a Rule 22 because I asked that the media be disclosed from this case. And I was told that it was not possible because they have an affidavit to where they are allowed to be able to be in the courtroom recording this, that, and the third. And that was just only one media source. from what was said to me. Then once we spoke on the Rule 22, it was like everybody said, you know, gave us the look like, damn, we weren't prepared for that one. You know, so once the Rule 22 came in effect, I actually witnessed the sheriff department doing any and everything they could to keep you from being able to go in the courtroom and record. Yep. I made the statement that is this a monetary thing? You know, because it was only one media group able to record. It was being publicized every day on YouTube to where you can go see it every day. You know, a whole lot of things were taking place as far as you being able to enforce a Rule 22 that was awarded to you to be able to do, opposed to somebody doing something with an affidavit. So to me, I think that they picked on you because you was there representing the defense.
Right.
You know, and they felt strongly that that's who you were there to represent, the defense. What make you different from the judge? The judge is there representing the state. And it's being shown. It's being publicly shown. He has shown that he's for the state by any means necessary. And as I say, we're going to say it again. And no one is speaking on it. No one is taking any power to say he's wrong, he shouldn't be doing it, he's not being a referee. He's being one of the players. So, you know, I guess because he wears a gown and has a name as judge, that's what makes the difference. I don't care what type of clothing you have on, what type of sets you in, what type of moves you make. Wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. I think that the judge is incompetent to even be on this case. He has a mental issue. The judge has to have a service animal. That's an animal of comfort. You know, what's the narrative for that? So yeah, I looked at an attorney talk today on TV, on YouTube, and he was speaking on how a lot of things have taken place and how a lot of things that these people have done has been against the judicial system itself. And he said the same thing I've been saying. Why haven't someone up high stepped in and stopped this bleeding? You know, so all in all, I pray on it. I put it in God's hands, and I live with it. But one thing you can definitely believe, people, I'm not going to stop supporting these people. I'm not going to stop supporting them. And I'm making a stand today to ask all family members, not just the family members of the people in the YSL case. I'm asking all of the family members of any and everybody that's incarcerated, whether it's in a jail or a prison, to start supporting your loved ones. Start speaking up for them. Start being their voice, because they are not going to be heard in the situation that they are in. No one is going to hear them. So you have to be their voice. You have to be their voice. If you can argue with the next door neighbor about something that's meaningless, let's argue with these people who are making decisions on our loved ones' lives as if they're nobody. Let's make these stands. Let's make these stands. We can make the stands by meeting together. We can make the stands by protesting together. We can make the stands by everybody just simply filing complaints.
Absolutely.
File the complaints for your loved ones, especially when you know they're being treated unfairly. That's the only way we're going to get someone's attention, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only way. So, we're going to end the show for today. We'll be back next week. And we do welcome anybody that wants to come speak, want to come and say something. You know, it can be something of any interest that you have. It don't have to be anything particular. And we can reach out to the world to try to get better answers, better solutions to the problems, and try to get some righteousness going for the loved ones that we have that are being fought against, that's being put in situations beyond their controls to where someone is actually forcing them to do something that they shouldn't have to do. So that's it for today. For No Days Off Radio, Big Jeff of YSL with nothing but the truth. That's right. And I'm out. Didn't have enough what's called. Yeah. That nigga shit out.